Good morning, students. Today, we are going to deal with a topic that comes after chapter 12, our environment. It begins at page number 161 and it is about safety and first aid. So, what is road safety? It refers to the methods and the measures used to prevent road users from being killed or being seriously injured. So, road safety means the methods and the measures that we use in order to prevent the road users from being killed or being seriously injured. Why is it important in India? It is because India has the second largest road network in the world and the number of motor vehicles on the roads are increasing day by day. That is the reason why road safety is important in India. So, road safety refers to the methods and the measures used to prevent the road user from being killed or being seriously injured. The basic rule that you must follow while being on road is that you must always walk to your right and you must drive to your left. So, the basic rule that you must follow while on road is that you must always walk on the right and drive to your left side. And there are various road signs that are placed on roads to ensure road safety. So, road signs are traffic signs or signals that is a means of communication to the road user and it is placed at sides or above the road. So, road signs are traffic signs or signals that ensures road safety of the road user. Now, let's see some road signs. The first one is this one. This means school zone, which means if you are in a vehicle, it means that there is a school coming ahead and you have to slow down your vehicle. The next sign is this one. It means you have to stop the vehicle at that point. And the next one is, this sign means overtaking prohibited. That means it inhibits an individual from being overtaking another vehicle at that point of the road. This prohibits the person to overtake another vehicle at that point. And the next one is this one. This means horns prohibited. It means you are not allowed to use the horns of your vehicle if you see this sign on the road. Next road sign is this one. It means that you are not allowed to use your cycle at that point of the road area. The next sign is this one. It means pedestrian crossing. Pedestrian means a person who is walking and this enables the person to cross the road. The next sign is this one. It means men at work. If you see the sign on the road, you have to know that a construction site is coming forward. And the next sign is this one. It means hump ahead. That means a speed bump is coming ahead and you have to slow down your vehicles. The speed bumps are set in order to keep a check on the speed of the moving vehicles. So, this means a speed bump is coming ahead. The next road sign is these two. The first one means compulsory left turn and the next one means compulsory right turn. If you see this one, that is the compulsory left turn, you have to turn to the left side of the road, and if you see the other one, that is compulsory right turn, you have to turn the vehicle to the right side. And the next one is this sign. It means the parking is prohibited. That means you are not allowed to park your vehicle if you see the sign at that area. So, these are some of the road signs that ensure road safety. So, road safety is the methods and measures used to prevent road users from being killed or being injured. And road signs are the traffic signs and signal that are set out to ensure the safety of the road users. Now, the next topic is first aid. The help that we give to an injured person before the doctor arrives is called first aid. So, the help that we provide to an injured person before the doctor arrives, that means first aid is always given before the arrival of the doctor. So, the help given to the injured person before the doctor arrives is called first aid. It is said that every school, every house, every vehicle should contain a first aid kit. And each first aid kit should include cotton wool, bandages, antiseptic creams, some medicines like cough and cold medicines, antacids, calamine solution, etc. So, it is always important to keep a first aid kit to provide help to an injured person. Now let's see some first aids that should be provided in various situations. The first situation is bleeding nose. The first aid that is mentioned in your text at page number 162 is to sit with the head tilted backwards, but it is wrong. What you have to do is, while nose bleeding, is that you have to sit in a chair and lean the head forward, and you have to pinch the soft part of the nose for 5 to 10 minutes, and you have to keep an ice pack on top of the nose and cheek. So, the first aid for a bleeding nose is that you have to sit with the head tilted forward. And next one is the first aid for minor burns. If you have a minor burn and if the skin is unbroken, you have to keep the area under water for at least 5 minutes. So, if the skin of the minor burn is unbroken, you have to keep this area under the water for at least 5 minutes. And then when the pain reduces, that is, when the pain of the burn reduces, you have to cover it with a clean, dry cotton cloth. And you should avoid pressure or friction to this area. So, if you have a minor burn in which the skin is unbroken, you have to keep the area under water for 5 minutes. And when the pain reduces, you have to cover the burn with clean, dry cotton cloth. And you should avoid pressure and friction to this area. Now, what should we do when you have a major burn? So, if a person is on fire, you should tell the person to stop, drop and to roll. So, the person has to stop at that point and he have to drop to the ground and start rolling in order to put off the fire. And after that, the person has to be wrapped in thick cloth, rug or blanket. If the hands and legs of the person are burned, raise them above the level of the heart. So, if the hands and legs of the person are burned, you have to raise the hand and leg above the level of the heart. And you have to continue monitoring the person's pulse rate as well as the breathing until medical help arrives. So, this is the first aid for major burns. There are some things that you should avoid while providing first aid for a major burn. They are, you should not use ice or ice cold water to treat burns. And you should not remove burnt clothing that is stuck in the skin. So, you should never remove the burnt cloth or the piece of cloth that is stuck to the skin. And you should not clean or break blisters as well as avoid applying ointments to the wound. So, these are some of the things that you should avoid while providing first aid for a major burn. The next situation is burn injuries. A burn injury is very painful and it takes a long time to heal. Burn injuries can be caused by a road accident or by a major fall. A burn injury can be judged, that means the intensity of the burn injury can be judged by the swelling and the amount of pain the person feels. If a person feels much pain and cannot move the body part, the injury could be serious. And then in such a situation, you have to shift the person immediately to the hospital. So, the first aid for a broken arm is that you can tie a sling to the hand. If an arm is injured, a sling can be used to tie to provide support and to prevent movement. So, what you have to do is, you have to take a long piece of cloth and fold the arm by the elbow and support it with the cloth. And then tie that cloth to the back of your neck. This is how you can tie a sling to the broken arm. There are some measures to avoid burn injuries. These include, do not jump from a height or run on the steps. And never lean down from the balcony. Do not try to board or get down from the moving bus or train. So, you have to wait for the bus to stop in order to get down from the bus. You should never move out from a moving bus or vehicle. Never put your arms, legs or head out while driving in a train, car or any kind of vehicle. Follow traffic rules while on the road. And always wear a seat belt while in a car and wear a helmet while on a two-wheeler. So, if you are on a two-wheeler, you have to wear a helmet, and if you are in a four-wheeler, you have to put your seat belt. And the last one is, do not climb a tree or jump from a moving swing. So these are some of the measures to avoid bone injuries. Now let's see the first aid provided for insect sting. Insect sting means the bite of an insect like bee, honeybee, etc. So the first aid provided for insect sting is that you should never pull out the stinger. Instead, you have to scrape or brush off the stinger with a straight edged object. Stinger means the insect that stings, and you have to wash the affected area with soap and water. So after removing the stinger, you have to wash the affected area with soap and water. After washing the affected area, apply a cold pack or cloth filled with ice in order to reduce the swelling of the affected area. And at last, you can apply an antiseptic cream. So the first aid for insect sting is that you have to scrape or brush off the stinger with a straight edged object. Then you have to wash the affected area with water and soap. Then apply a cold pack in order to reduce the swelling, and at last apply the antiseptic serum. Now the first aid for animal bites. The first case is the bite of animals like dogs, fox, cat, monkeys and bats. At times, dogs, foxes, cats, monkeys and bats suffer from a dangerous disease called rabies. And when an animal bites another person or animal, it passes on this fatal disease. The first aid for animal bites is that you have to stop any bleeding by pressing cotton wool on the wound, and later you have to clean the area thoroughly. Then you have to go to the doctor and take an anti-rabies vaccination. This is the first aid for an animal bite. The next case is a snake bite. Basically, there are two kinds of snake, poisonous as well as the non-poisonous one. So if the person is bitten by a poisonous snake, you have to rush the person immediately to the nearby hospital. The symptoms for a poisonous snake bite is that the person will have severe pain where the snake has bitten, and there will be convulsions. The person will be fainting or will be showing signs of dizziness or blurred vision. And then there will be excessive sweating, nausea, vomiting, numbness and tingling. So these are some of the symptoms for a poisonous snake bite. So the first aid provided for a snake bite is that you have to wash the bitten area with soap and water, and you have to ask the person to stay calm. Then keep the bitten area lower than the hurt. Then tightly tie a cloth near the bite to prevent spreading of the venom in the blood of the person. Then you have to monitor vital signals like breathing and the pulse of the individual. And you should not make a cut on the wound, and you have to rush the person to the closest hospital. So the first aid provided for snake bite is that you have to wash the bitten area with soap and water, and you have to ask the person to stay calm. And you have to keep the bitten area lower to the heart, and you have to tightly tie a cloth near to the bite. This prevents further spreading of the venom in the blood. And later you have to rush the person immediately to the hospital. Some of the poisonous snakes that are commonly found in India are Russell's viper, krait, cobra and saw-scaled viper. So in today's class, we learned about road safety and first aid. Road safety is the measures and methods used to prevent road users from being killed or being seriously injured. And first aid is the help that we give to an injured person before the person arrives. Now I will give you a homework question. At page number 166, there is a worksheet. You have to complete the worksheet and send it to us through Teams. That was all about today's class. See you in next class. Bye.